If you're looking for some solid protection to the rocker area on your 2020 or newer JT Gladiator, these officially licensed Jeep enhanced Ruby rails with the Jeep logo in texture black will be a great solution. Now these are going to be great for the JT owner who likes the benefits that the factory Ruby rails have to offer, but want a bit more with some additional hour protection, whether their JT is going off-road all the time or just once in a while. Now that enhanced bar here is also going to do well as a stepping surface if you want a boost up into your truck for you and your passengers, but you want to stay relatively focused on protection compared to the standard side step. Not to mention, with these being officially licensed by Jeep, you can expect factory quality that you can rely on with no questions asked. Now these will feature a tight fit to the rocker for flush fitment, wheel to wheel to fill up that space, and will cover underneath the pinch weld, which will provide some very good protection for that vulnerable area if you do end up coming down on an obstacle. Now the best part about these is not only that these are going to cover and protect the pinch weld, but compared to the standard Ruby rail, these are going to have that extended bar offering outward protection for the door panels and the rocker. It's also even front to back as well, so if you do come down on an obstacle, you can easily slide off of it without getting snagged, which I think is a great quality to have, especially if you're off-roading often. These will be made of a heavy-duty steel construction, being able to take a hit when needed. Now on top, these will also have a two-stage epoxy pre-coating and texture black powder coat finish for a heavy-duty appearance, but most importantly, to cover and protect the steel underneath from any rusting, keeping these looking new for years to come. These will also boast Jeep quality and will have a stamp of approval with the tag embossed right on the rail. Now the best part of all is that this is going to come with everything you need for a straightforward install with no modification required. Now these will come in at about $500, which in the world of protection is actually pretty affordable to average. Now compared to other options on the page as far as protection is concerned, these are going to keep it to the more entry level to intermediate side of rocker protection, considering that these are going to be mounted to the body. Now that's for good reason though, considering that these are going to completely cover that pinch weld area for full protection to the seam, while other frame mounted options usually don't tuck as close. Now I personally think if you're looking for a solid set of rocker guards and want that added protection and even a small step for your JT without completely breaking the bank and want a Jeep quality set to do it with, then this is going to be a great option to consider. Install will be a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you about 2 hours to get the job done. Now at this point, we can head over to the shop and check out a detailed breakdown step by step of how to get these onto your JT at home. So that's going to wrap it up for me. Let's go ahead and get into it.
The tools you're going to need for this install include an electric or regular 3/8 ratchet, a 10mm deep socket, a 13 and 16mm shallow socket. What's up guys? Today we're going to be installing Ruby rails on our Gladiator, so let's get started. Alright guys, so the first step of the install, we're going to take the studs that are on the Ruby rails and they're going to go into the holes in the pinch weld. So we're going to get these lined up and in our holes. So now we can slide on our small washers, follow with our small nuts. So now once we have our middle mount on, we can repeat that process for the front and the rear, and we'll come back to tighten these up. So now once you have all your washers and nuts threaded on a couple threads, we need to take a spacer. We're going to slide that over our first stud. And that'll fall on top of the other stud. Then I can repeat that process for the remaining 2 on this side. All right guys, so now we can take a 10mm socket and we're going to lightly tighten these up. We don't want to tighten them up all the way until we get our other mounts installed. Come back and keep doing that same thing. Now you can repeat this process for the rear mount and for the other side. All right guys, so now we're going to install our mounts. All 3 of these mounts are different. The middle mount is the one with the circle. The front mount is the one with the square. and for the rear, there is no hole. So now we can get this lined up like so. We're gonna have for the Ruby rail, it's gonna be the thicker headed bolt and the shorter bolt. We're gonna throw a lock washer and washer on that. I'm just gonna thread that in first. Then we can take our smaller headed, longer bolt with the lock washer and the smaller hold washer. And we're gonna thread that onto the body. And first, we're gonna tighten down our top bolt with a 13mm socket. So now that we have our top bolt tightened down, we're gonna take a 16mm socket and we're gonna tighten up the bolt on the Ruby rail. Once again, that front mount is the square hole. So now we're gonna take our longer bolt, thread that into the body. And that larger headed bolt goes on the Ruby rail. Take our 16mm socket and tighten up our Ruby rail. Swap out your sockets to a 13mm, then we'll tighten up this top one. All right, and now you can repeat this process for the rear mount and for the other side. Now, since we previously just snugged these up, we're gonna tighten these down with a 10mm socket. Now you can repeat this process for the remaining brackets and for the other side, then your install will be complete. So that's going to wrap up the review and install on our officially licensed Jeep Enhanced Ruby rails with Jeep logo in textured black for your 20 to 23 Jeep Gladiator JT. Thanks for watching, and for all things Gladiator, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.